Hi, Facebook friends. Helen Archontou here, CEO of the YWCA of Northern New Jersey. So happy to have some time with you today. It's Tuesday. It's election day. I'm going to start with it. I've been ending with it, but I'm going to start with it today. If you haven't voted, folks, you have until 8 o'clock tonight to get out there. So please go do it. You can, if you have your paper ballot, you can drop it off in one of the drop boxes. You can hand deliver it to the Board of Elections, or you can bring it to your polling place. And you actually can still visit your polling place without it and vote. So you still have plenty of opportunity to get that done today. You have until 8 o'clock. Please make that a priority. And for everybody else, I know there's a lot on our minds about which way things will go. Lots of important races happening and lots at stake for our country, for sure. Whether it's, again, locally, statewide, or nationally. But nothing we can do about it now. So you might as well, pour yourself something to drink and get into a comfortable chair and hang out with us because time's got to pass before we know what the outcome is. And so you might as well spend it with us at YWTV because we're about engaging and inspiring you. And we're going to try to do that a little bit today. And we're also going to try to tease you a little bit today. And today is about getting you to join us tomorrow night because we have a very exciting event and we want to tell you all about it. So the YWCA of Northern New Jersey has a series called When on the Go. It's our Women's Empowerment Network. And it's a wonderful opportunity that we bring together women who are, engaged in small businesses or in corporate America. It does not matter. Women that are job seeking, women that are, not in the workforce right now. Mm-hmm. It's for everyone. It's a wonderful conversation. All of them are wonderful conversations, but this one in particular is really for everyone and anyone, and it's all about changing your inner script, which we will talk about. But as I said, WEN provides opportunities for women to network and to exchange ideas and to get really actionable advice to be able to help them develop both personally and professionally. And we are always so grateful to all these wonderful thought leaders in our community that come together and help support these initiatives and help us host these conversations for the women in our community. And today we have our speaker for tomorrow night, who's actually been our speaker before. It's not the first time. We are so grateful to have Jen Daure with us. She, as I said, is going to give us a little sneak peek about tomorrow night's event. And again, it's all going to be all about changing your inner script or the little voice, that sometimes you might hear telling you, what and how to do things. And so changing it in a way that'll help you find success and just being able to live the life you want and that you deserve. And we know that a lot of women have been impacted greatly by COVID. The polls and the data is showing that we were the hardest hit by initial job losses across this country. Wow. And in order to find new opportunities, new employment opportunities, we really want to encourage women to sometimes, have to engage in some new strategies and think outside the box and do something a little bit differently, making some tweaks, making some changes to be able to, land a job and hopefully the job of your dreams. Mm-hmm. Even though this is a unique time, it doesn't mean that can't happen. We have had many women on the show, and I've talked to many women in our community that actually, did end up finding the job of their dreams during this time. Mm-hmm. So, this can be a time for opportunity, and Jen Daure is going to help us embrace it. Yes. Before we get started with her chatting with her, I want to tell you a little bit about her. As I shared, she actually has been a speaker for us at WEN before. She is so multi-talented in so many levels that we are able to, bring her back and engage in totally different conversations, but they all really end up in the same place. And it's really just about being your best self, which is what I love about talking to Jen. And I've had the opportunity to spend lots of time with her one-on-one over the years, and it's always just a joy. and really kind of very personally uplifting when I get to be around her and all of her positivity and her energy. She is an executive coach.
Mm-hmm.
She's a mentor. She is a host of a show. And she believes in building confidence and enhancing self-expression to accelerate the achievement of goals. She also is a diversity and inclusion advocate, and her insatiable interest for human potential allows her to always see and identify the similarities between people who cross her path.
Yeah.
She has worked on leadership development and performance management with fintech, manufacturing, fashion, avionics, banking, food corporations, and with just hungry individuals that were seeking to refine their leadership. She has done her coaching and has quite an evolution, which I'm going to ask her to talk about, and all of that. And it's her birthday. She's spending her birthday with us today, folks. Shout out and happy birthday to our girl, Jen.
Thank you.
What a gift that you're spending it with us today. Welcome, Jen.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for your kind words too.
Well, always. I'm always, whether it's because our cars parked next to each other in a parking lot and we get out at the same time and we just the short path of walking into some place together has been a great experience for me, or when we get to sit at a cafe and share a cup of tea and a croissant, however our time together is, I always leave it uplifted and better for it, for sure.
Thank you so much. And likewise for me. And it's funny because I was telling myself today, it's like, wow, I interviewed you way back and now I'm being interviewed. So I don't get interviewed a lot. So I actually like it.
Well, good. I'm happy to change, turn the tables a little bit. And actually, when you interviewed me, we were both behind a beautiful brick background like you are.
Yeah.
Today, unfortunately, we're not together. But gratefully, technology has helped us stay connected for sure. So tell us a little bit. You've had a very interesting, professional evolution and journey, and have, been in lots of different spaces that has brought you here. Can you tell us a little bit about it? I know I gave a teaser for that too.
I know. Well, the short version of it, because it could be a book, obviously. So, my journey to be in the place that I'm doing what I'm doing right now, I started, is it 10 years ago or something like that? No, even before that. 16 years ago, I don't know about the years. When it becomes like over 10, it feels like it's just 10, right? I met a coach that really changed my life, and he's still one of my mentors today. And, I had to, back then I was married, I had a house, I wasn't really happy in the life I was living with, even though I was really successful. But, when you start working with coaches, with people like me or with other coaches, you realize that, wait, am I really in the place I really want to be? Am I expressing myself to the fullest of my expression? And so, as the years were passing, I moved to the United States in 2009. I married the man of my dream. We're still married today, so it's good. Even in COVID, he's following me in the bathroom. Anyway, that's maybe TMI, but we still love each other really, really nice. And, when I moved to the United States, I said, I want to give back to people what I receive. I want people to live the life they really want to live. So I found a coach training program. So I got certified in coaching. So I have the tools and techniques to really help people, opening up and guide them to where they need to be. And when I started coaching, I said, I'm going to coach everyone about everything. So that's how you start. And then you meet marketing people, you meet like, well, what's your niche? And then like, what do you mean a niche? Like, what do you mean I need a niche? So through that, I also started leading a women's group in Hoboken. So it was a group of 600 women. So it was kind of like my playground of trying my coaching skills. And that's where I've defined my first niche of working with women entrepreneurs. So that used to be one of my niche businesses. And then I just wanted to expand. I wanted to start working with people in corporation, because I find like, especially now that we're talking about diversity and inclusion, is how can I be of service of helping more women getting into more position of power? Because it's cool in business too. So there's like a little bit of a correlation here, but like, how can I make it so that in corporation, we have more women being heard, more women standing in their confidence, more women expressing themselves and not shutting themselves down or thinking they have to adopt masculine traits to be successful, or dress, I call it with a brown suit to be successful, right? So these are all things that led to where I am today. And I've been really enjoying like working with women in corporate. But, what I say a lot is that whether I work in corporation, whether it's for profit or nonprofit, or with business entrepreneurs, we all talk about life because everything is connected to, your behavior, how you're behaving in the world and who you're showing up as. So, it's just a new umbrella to contribute at making this world a more inclusive world with women.
Yeah, I love that, because I think sometimes we as women think that, it's only people, women that are like in our group that are like us,
right?
And that they're, that, oh, well, they have a different kind of job, they must be different, but, that there are similarities. And at the same time, our differences are something to be celebrated, and not necessarily keep us apart, for sure, but just, to be, educated and celebrated.
Yes.
So with that, I know, and I'm trying to think how long ago it was, we were sitting in Hoboken, we were sipping on tea, and we were eating some lovely pastries, which we were doing that now. And we were talking about this new project that you were kind of dreaming up. Your work with all your clients was kind of leading you into kind of, creating some theories and some, you're working on, you were percolating, you were doing something.
Marinating, yeah.
Yeah. And a few weeks ago, you reached out and said, it's done, I'm ready. So, and I was so excited. So can you tell us a little bit about the process, that brought you to the topic, that obviously, we're working with?
Yes. So basically, it's interesting because, when it's all about confidence, right? Like we often teach to other people what we learned ourselves and what we're still learning ourselves, because we're in constant learning motion. And my whole program about redefining your leadership style, I came with this, these old 8 dimensions of influence in your leadership, because I'm like, well, human beings, like from all these past 10 years that I've coached all sorts of kind of people, human beings want to know they have control over something. Like we want to know that we can control certain outcomes. And what I've realized by working with all these people is that with these 8 dimensions, you can control them. And the other thing that was really important to me in developing my own material was that, a lot of times when you work with consultants, they have, a how-to guide of how to do something. And it's not wrong of having that, because it's very useful. You want to have a little bit sometimes, guidance and like step-by-step book. But my approach and my style and what's been working for me and for all the people that I've been working with is having a sort of guideline where you don't have to fit all in these boxes that you should be fitting in your leadership style to be successful. Because what I found, and with the people that I'm working with, is that when we tap into who we really are and what reflects our values and personalities and what our goals that we really have, not the ones we think we should have, this is where success happens. So, that's how I came up to this conclusion, not conclusion, but for now, right? That's like my container for now, that this is what I'm offering to the world. And it took me a long time because, as women, we often think, oh, that's been done before. Oh, that's boring. Oh, it's like this, and that. So people think you either, pick up their stuff, but no, it's all, what you realize also as individual is that every single thing you do is done with you as yourself, with your own imprint on it. So, it's a Jen program.
Yes, I love a Jen program. A Jen program. So for people that, and again, this is tomorrow evening at 7 p.m.
Yes.
And we will have the link for all of you to register, so that you can join us. So for those that are kind of considering joining us, let's ask a few questions to kind of get them in that headspace. So tell us a little bit about your approach to change.
Well, so, and that's interesting, right? Because, the word change is really a big word. And as we know, change is a constant. So, when we know that change happens, and it's always something that's going to be happening all the time. So really what you need, my approach to change, it's really starting to develop those flexibility, resiliency, and bouncing back muscle. So for us, my approach to change is how do we make us as human beings adaptable to our environment? So it's basically letting go of all the things that doesn't serve us and letting in all the things that we need to develop to continue moving on with change, right? Like the fish that moves against current. Do you want to move against current or you want to swim with it, right? And it's not because you swim with the current that you have to let yourself carry away with the current and like, oh, I don't know, I'm just going to be a victim of it. No. You can swim with the current, with the power of your arms and be really powerful in it, but as being yourself with change. So, and it takes practice because a lot of times we view change that, oh, we just have to replace one thing with another, where change is not about that. It's about integrate. And that sounds very mechanic, right? Oh, just change, just be confident, just start asking for things. Well, it doesn't happen that easy. So my approach to change is to help people create new behaviors that are in alignment with who they are, but that will support them being adaptable to the current changes.
Yeah, I love that. So, as people are considering, being part of tomorrow's events, is there any pre-work or, any kind of headspace that people should be in before they sign on to join?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Because tomorrow we're really focusing on the part of changing your inner script so that you can have a different outcome. So, of course, I'm not going to dive into the 8 dimensions of leadership because we're really looking at probably just one dimension, because 8 is way too much in like 1 hour. So one of the things to be really ready for tomorrow, think about what is your dream job and what outcome you would actually like to get out of tomorrow. And these 2 very simple things will put you in the mindset to be ready for tomorrow instead of like, oh, I don't know yet, but think about that,
Yeah. All right. That's your homework, everyone.
Yes.
Give yourself, a few minutes to think about your dream job and so that you can be ready to receive what Miss Jen is going to share with us. So when we think about our goals for our participants tomorrow, what is that we want them to come there and get out of that workshop?
I want everybody to know that, when they got out of there, that they understand that they have everything they need right now to land a successful job or a promotion or whatever they set out themselves to be. And that's important. And it's okay if you're not there in your mind space right now, but that's one of my goals. And the other one is to understand that you can be successful as you. So it's a little bit similar of what I just said. And it all comes back to, being self-expressed, right? Like this is what I want them to get out with, because tomorrow I'm there for the participant. I'm not there for myself. I'm not there to like show what I know. I'm there to facilitate a conversation so that you leave with an action plan to get you to a place where you will have your successful job. And to do that, also maybe a little pre-work, think about what is your definition of success. And that's important to know because it's a single definition to every single one of you.
Absolutely. Well, I love that. And I think, very often we just want good things to happen, which, poof, it's going to happen. But, there is a process that we need to engage in, to be able to get there and put a little thought around it.
Yeah.
Our recent WEN presenter, Christina Metz, who I see is, watching with us right now, she talked about how, one of her, mentors and superiors at her last job had said to her, think about what is it that you want to do? Like, what's your next step? What do you want to do? And it wasn't until she, put a little time into that she was able to create the vision for it. And then she ended up, ending up there and more, in terms of the move that she made in the midst of this time of COVID. So we know that it's possible, but it definitely does mean sometimes you have to create a little space to think about it and to envision it and to make it happen. So that's what tomorrow night's all about, right?
Yep, absolutely. Creating this space to make all of it to happen. And that's what it is. Like when you go to a workshop like we're going to have tomorrow, this is a space for you. So it's a safe space. And I know it's a word we use a lot, but it's a safe space for you to explore who you are, asking yourself the right questions, right? Because to create a new script, you have to ask yourself the right questions. And we don't do that because we always ask the questions we know the answers to.
Yes. So I'm excited for tomorrow so that people kind of get to have that opportunity. So you've got these other, the full 8 dimensions.
Yes.
Right. So for anyone watching who's interested in learning more about you and that, where is more Jen accessible to us? How can we get to the rest of it?
Yes, so you can check it all out on my website at jenniferdaure.com. Or you can follow me also on LinkedIn, where everything is 100% professional. You can, if you're already friends on Facebook, feel free to friend me on Facebook, but you will see some cat pictures.
Yeah. And it's a cute cat. So.
I'm surprised one of them is not walking here right now.
But so they can connect with you on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And they can go to your website, and then they can be on top of, what's coming next and how to follow you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Good. So it's your birthday.
Yes.
So what's your birthday wish? As we're closing out, Miss Jen, what's your birthday wish?
It's funny, I didn't write anything. I have a wish that I won't say, so I'm not going to influence anyone. For read mine. Yeah. Well, I really wish that everybody votes. That's important, to have their voice heard. So that's one of them. And, it's going to sound like, pageanty, but I really want this world to be a better place to live with. Like every day that everybody does the best that they can, and they go to bed at night and say, you know what, I've done everything I could today.
Yeah.
That's my birthday wish.
Well, that is a great wish for sure. And I have to say that I share it. And, with the rest of the world, obviously, or the rest of our country watching, see where today ends up for sure. But again, I'm grateful that you took some time out of your birthday to spend it with us and to give us a framework for folks that are, watching, and hopefully will join us tomorrow night for our Change Your Inner Script, Change Your Outcome conversation. And we look forward to them joining us. And until then, again, it is 1:25, which means that there are plenty of hours ahead to still get out and vote. Give her birthday wish, and definitely exercise your civic responsibility, and let your voice be heard. This is definitely the most impactful way that you can let your voice be heard, is by casting your vote. So with that, everyone, we hope you have a great day. We hope you find ways, good self-care, that you can kick into to get through any, anxiety you're feeling about this day and where things are going. And take care of yourself, take care of those around you. And we will hopefully see you all tomorrow evening, and be ready to change our inner script. All right, everyone. Take care. Jen, thanks again so much, and have a happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Have a good day.